Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, Honolulu and rest of world. Here we are yet again in my newly, beautifully refurbished charisumisu.com lair. I have been getting questions, or people have been asking me about, if I'm gonna just start maintaining my bicycle, or I want to get into maintaining my own bicycle, what do you do for tools, right? Or what's a good way to get started with tools? And it's kind of ironic, or it's kind of funny. Well, let me mention this real quick. If you do live in the jungles of Hawaii, your first and most important tool is going to be a mosquito coils, because yes, we get bad mosquitoes here. But seriously, it's ironic because I grew up with a pretty heavy tool-based family, and I've always liked really good tools. I've worked my fair share of construction and whatnot with my hands quite a bit, and I do love good tools, right? And when I first started getting into this sport, I wasn't sure if I was going to stick with it, and whether I was going to like it or not, right? So when it came time to buy a couple tools, I just I kind of picked up something inexpensive, and I just thought I'd stick with it for a while and see what happened. And sure enough, here we are 10 years or so later. And again, I'm not endorsing Nashbar. I'm not telling you to buy this one, but at the time, and I'm pretty sure it's still going to be true, this was the most reasonable, somewhat complete set of bicycle specific tools that I could find. And it's hilarious because I've just kept it, and they still work great. And on that note, if you feel like you want to stop watching right now, that's fine, right? If you don't like watching me, that's great. But if you did come here to try and figure out what you might want to do about bicycle tools and stuff, the first thing I'm going to tell you is that if you buy anything, right, you're going to want to get these, T-handled Allen keys with a ball on one end and regular on the other side. These things are unbelievable. I had never used them before I got into cycling. And again, I've been around all kinds of tools my whole life, whether mechanics or carpentry tools, masonry tools, whatever. And these things are just great. Yeah, so if you buy anything specifically for your bicycle, and I'm going to guess that somebody uses them for work on their car or whatnot, because there are non-bicycle related manufacturers that make them, of course, but these things have been indispensable to me. And in particular, you're going to want to concentrate on your number 4 and number 5 specifically. And if you don't buy a whole set, go ahead and get yourself a 6, because these do Ultegra pedals. And if you're running Dura-Ace pedals, at least all the ones I have, I'm not sure about the newest ones, but it takes a number 8. Okay, so these are, you got to have these. And I would recommend just go buy a whole set, right? Why not? But if you don't, at least get a 4 and a 5, and you might as well throw in a 6 while you're at it. But I use all of them all the time. Yeah, I have a number 3 in the house back there. Actually, a number 10. I've never used the number 10, so there it is. Then, of course, you can have your just regular screwdrivers, yeah, Phillips and flathead. Here's something that I use quite frequently. It's just a broken spoke. I don't think it was even my spoke. I don't even remember where I got it, but I use it a lot, for many different applications, dig for things or whatever. Clothespan, often I have to just hold something, whatever, it's in there. Okay, here we go. Plumbing tape. This gets more into like maintenance specific, but it's in the box, so it is what it is. But plumbing tape, you can use it in the place of like blue Loctite and stuff to hold your screws in place that you don't want backing out. This is specific to my bicycle, this number 10 or something. I use that something specifically, so it is what it is. I have Q-tips on here for just random jobs here and there. Here's something, you know, you got to have if you're running anything with this, what is it, CR2032 or whatever batteries, right? They're everywhere, you know. I think you know what I'm talking about. So you got to have a quarter laying around. Oh, here's something else that's really cool. I remember when Di2 first came out, and you know, we didn't have the whole E-tube thing. You know, at that time you would get the wiring harness and it was all hardwired together, right? There weren't E-tubes that you bought separately. Yeah. But these things are awesome, right? You know, for the E-tube in particular. So if you do switch to Di2, you know, and you try and install it yourself or whatever, and you see this thing, make sure you keep it. These things are indispensable for taking the wires in and out of where they connect. It's great. I mean, it's the silliest little thing, but it's one of the most helpful tools I have. And then I just have a, you know, razor blade for different things like that. I usually take it out of there to use it, but whatever. That keeps it safe. And then things I've added to the set. Most of this comes with the set. Obviously, anything that you see that's black and yellow is going to have come with this. This didn't, of course. This didn't. This obviously didn't, you know. But, you know, just a regular adjustable wrench and a pair of needle nose pliers. That didn't come with, but I've added it. These didn't come with. I think these came with an X-Acto knife that I was going to show you. I do have an X-Acto knife in here too somewhere. But I usually have an X-Acto knife in here, and I think that came in the set. So I keep those in there. Now here's my X-Acto knife. So yeah, so I add a X-Acto knife. And again, some of this is added, much of it is added, much of it isn't, but I'll go through these one by one. And again, if you feel like you don't want to watch anymore, that's fine. Go pick up yourself these T-handled Allen wrenches with the ball end. This is the key. These things are great for getting in places that aren't straight. Yeah. So, but you got to be careful. You know, if you do that, you know, don't strip the bolt out. But these things are awesome. Pedal wrench. You know, I guess it's not really a must-have depending on what pedal you're running. Again, all pedals I have are either Ultegra or Dura Ace, and you can get them on and off with a number 6 or 8 Allen. Or the 15 millimeter, right? So I have one, and I use it a lot. Whatever. Okay, well, yeah. Let's talk about fit specific stuff while we're at it. So fitting your bicycle, and again, this video isn't, you know, to try and show you how to fit a bicycle or whatever, but you know, for me, what works, not so much to find my fit anymore, but to put things back to where I had them. You know, you got to have a torpedo level. This is what carpenters call them anyway. I don't know if there's another name for it, but, you know, I've grown up calling it a torpedo level. I'm going to probably call it a torpedo the rest of my life. It's what it is. It's a torpedo level. So you got to have that. And then, you know, a tape, inches and millimeters. I often find the metric easier to use than the American equivalent or whatever you want to use. Sometimes I find the metric more precise. Sometimes the American is good enough. Whatever, I'll use both of them. I don't care. And then a 4-foot level. You know, gotta have a 4-foot level for most fitting applications, bicycle fitting applications. All right, so cable cutter. Yes, I still have a mechanical bicycle. My rain bike is mechanical, so I still use this guy, and not just for cutting, shifting cables, but I've used it for other stuff too. So, and this came with the Nashbar kit, so still handy. This obviously didn't come, but I use it a lot. I don't have my attachments in here, but you'd be surprised, you know. And sometimes just for cleaning stuff too, you know, getting in tight places to get something clean or something, you can use that. This didn't come with, but I've added it. Just a heavy pair of shears. I use it a lot. Speaking of which, here's a pair of scissors. Right? Gotta have a pair of scissors, all kinds of stuff. I use my scissors. And again, I have these all over because you can buy them at Costco. I think 3 of them for $9 or so, right? So I have scissors all over my place. And while we're at it and on Costco and stuff, you know, sometimes they have these, sometimes they don't, you know. I think this was like a 3-pack of headlamps and 3-pack of small flashlights. If you can't get them, if you can't find them at Costco, just get it wherever you can. But in my experience, a headlamp, you know, must have. Moving on. So I have 2 different chain whips. This one obviously came with the Nashbar one. This one I picked up somewhere along the way. I don't remember, but they work exactly the same. So I just use them interchangeably. So I just left these here, you know, to remind me to talk about open-end wrenches. I actually never use these ones, these Nashbar ones. You know, I have a set of Craftsman, I think, or Snap-on, whatever. I have decent mechanics tools, but I left them in there. They're nostalgic, I guess. But, you know, have some open-end wrenches. I'm sure everybody's got them. Actually, this sucker, I don't even know what it does. I don't think I've ever used it. Oh, here we go. This is a cool addition. Yeah, let's talk about both chain tools while we're at it. I have lots of experience with both of them. You know, now with the Quick Link with Shimano, I'm not going to get into group sets. Maybe I'll do a different video on that. But, you know, I have some experience with SRAM and a lot of experience with Shimano. And for the foreseeable future, I see myself running nothing but Shimano. Once I started using Shimano, it has been nothing but flawless for me. So I plan on continuing to do that. And once they switch to Master Link on the chains, right, this is the tool that you need to take it off. I haven't done a changing tool yet, but look for it. You know, by the time you watch this, it might be up. But Shimano went to Master Link rather than a pin. And, you know, I looked at the Shimano branded tool, and of course it was expensive. It was like $25 or $30. I'm not even kidding. This Burrs man, it was like $5 or something, and it's worked just fine for what, I'm probably going on 3 or 4 changes just with this thing already. And this is hilarious too with this Nashbar one. Again, this is 10 years old. And up until recently, when Shimano switched, I had been using this thing exclusively, and I still use it on my rain bike, because my rain bike is still 10-speed mechanical. So 10-speed obviously is still a pin, and I don't think they're gonna. I don't know why they would switch it to a Master Link. I don't know. And this, there should be a piece here that broke off, but I still use it. Still works fine. You could use it with no pieces, but it would be kind of annoying. At least this one still holds the chain in place. And when I do a chain video, you can watch that if you want, or you can go find somebody else's. Anyway, still working good. Here we go, cassette tool. And I have this. Oh, and I have this guy. Obviously, you know, looking at the rust, I don't use it much, but I have used it before, and this is where an adjustable comes into play. You know, you can get them on there, but I like this one obviously with the handle, right? So cassette tool, gotta have it. Now here's something some of you might find interesting. All my bikes, except, no, even my TT bike, all of my bikes still have external bottom brackets, which is kind of the way I like it for now. But these are bottom bracket removing tools. You know, I'm not going to go into specifics of the different sizes and stuff. For now, just take it for what it's worth. It is what it, actually, this is an adapter, you know. But this guy goes in here like this or whatever. You know, when they switched. So you needed a smaller one, and they came with that. So, okay, spoke tools. This came with this. Obviously, I don't use them that much, but I do actually perform small spoke adjustments. I don't have a truing stand. That's something I'm probably going to get into here sooner rather than later, building my own wheels and stuff. But until then, you know, I do small adjustments. That's one thing I don't like about Shimano is their wheels kind of in my C24s or whatever. They're kind of soft. They go in and out quite a bit of true. And but you can, and I'm not going to make a video of that maybe ever, I'm not sure. But if you want to, you can go find somebody else's or whatever, but you can true them slightly, you know, in the frame, right, in your work stand. That I have made a video. You can go watch that. Go watch the work stand video. It's in my review section playlist, just like this one will be. I'll put a link at the end of the video. But in your work stand, you can do small adjustments on your wheels. So that's why I have some spoke wrenches. This, what, 2.5, 25 Torx. I use it. Yeah, specific. This isn't a 25, but it's close. Again, I have a couple, just like this guy. I have some very specific things to my bicycle. And the 25, I might use it. I might have used that somewhere, but I use this one a lot. All right, these are shims for laminate flooring. And I've used them, obviously, something on my bicycle, so I keep them in here. Oh, here's a little guy. When you're taking your crank off, this takes off the little dust cap on the non-drive side of your cranks. This comes in the kit, and they're mandatory. Gotta have them. And you just use your hand. That's what these notches are for. Maybe I'll make a video about maintaining your crank set at some point, but gotta have one of those. Oh, these are just the little plates that go behind a front derailleur to keep the front derailleur from hitting into your frame if it torques too hard. Don't worry about that. It is what it is. Here's some tire levers. I'm sure I've used them at some point to prise something, so they're still in here. I would imagine I've used this guy at some point, you know, a 9mm and a 10. Not quite sure what these guys do on the ends, but it's in there. That came with it. 15, yeah, that's a pedal wrench. That's pedal wrench size. That's a pedal wrench. Like I said, I like this one, the Park Tool one. It's more robust. Oh, here's a Hashi. I've used this for at some time, you know, performing some kind of job. And it looks like that is it. Oh, and then for me specifically, I wear gloves every time I work on my bike. Like I said, I grew up more or less working with my hands, and you know, I'm 45 now. I'm getting kind of past the point that I feel like having dirty hands or whatever. So I usually, you know, especially when I'm maintaining my drivetrain or whatever, cleaning the chain, whatever, or certainly washing my bike, you know, I like to wear gloves. So there you have it. I hope it helps. And again, I'm not trying to sell you a Nashbar kit or whatever, but again, I'm making these videos, you know, if you're just getting started in the sport, you know, and you're not ready to spend lots of money or whatever, and even if you're like a tool guy or whatever, I'm just here to tell you that it's okay, you know, go buy the cheap stuff, and you never know, you might end up sticking with it the rest of your life, which I have. And if you're not gonna pick up any of this stuff except the most basics, you know, get yourself a number 4 and 5 of these T-handled Allen wrenches. These things are indispensable. So there you have it. I hope you learned something, and thank you for watching. I will see you again. Aloha from Hawaii. Thanks. Bye.